Hello. Yeah, I haven't been on here for a while. There's a reason behind it. Actually, I've been on YouTube. I just haven't been. My mind is blown right now. Completely blown. And I'm not even going to play any of the tracks because I don't need to. It's the whole buzz. It's the whole buzz. Boom. I told you all what was going to happen. I've listened to 5 or 6 tracks off the new Eminem. My boy is back. Like, I'm just, I'm shaking. Like, it's trying to pull apart this album and the fact he called out the mumble rap industry, like the sellout. He admitted he sold out, you know, for it in his song Lucky. I gotta spiritually, I gotta break that down how I took it related to my life, which everybody should do that. Songs should speak to your spirit and make you want to, um, for real, songs should speak to you and make you want to get off your ass and be creative and do what you need to do in your life. Look, I've been preaching creativity and being yourself and stepping into your superpower. Look what, okay, I'm 42. Eminem's 45. I'm going to go into a little bit of astrology about Eminem because I looked up his chart to the best that I could because I wasn't sure of the time he was born, but I know his moon sign's in Aquarius and he is a Libra Scorpio cusp. His birthday is October 17th, 1972. Okay? His moon sign is Aquarius, deep in Aquarius. He has his Saturn in Gemini. Like, I looked up this stuff. He went through, he realizes he calls out himself for his last album being a flop. He calls out himself for not being his own true, authentic self in this album. He dropped Kamikaze on the world as a reality check to wake the hell up out of your sleeping slumber. I've been preaching this on my channel the last 2 months. It's what I've been hearing in my spirit as well. I want spiritual people who listen into their intuition and do what they're called to do. I want to push my community of people to do what they're called to do. But I'm going to break this stuff down, and I'm not using any music. I want you guys to go research this stuff for yourself because I did. Someone sent me the video for Lucky You with Joyner Lucas. I don't know what he should be back 20 years ago. Hey! Well, thank you. Yeah, I was like, seriously, this whole thing with him dropping this bomb on the world, like, he's like, you got to get back into your creativity. I'm going to break down The Ringer. He calls everybody out. He says there's 4 people who are safe. I'm telling you, if you subscribe to my channel, I've been preaching this in my tarot readings to a lot of the signs to be who you are. You know, that's why I resonate so much with the Peace Dealer. You know, and I know he's coming on, and I'm going to get off of here and cut this off when I know he comes on. Check the Peace Dealer out. He's preaching authenticity too. Like, This album, Kamikaze, seriously has got me. I'm talking like I barely slept the last 2 days since he dropped that bomb, and it was a freaking bomb on the song Rap Devil with Machine Gun Kelly. Like, I'm not even kidding. I called this. If you go back to my I called this. If you go back to my Gemini mail reading that I put on here, if you go back to my Gemini mail reading, I only get on here when I know Spirit's preaching to me and teaching and trying to convey a message. That's the only time I get on here, man. But this thing got me stoked. And this isn't clickbait. This is what I've been preaching. Eminem is a sign. You know, whether you're a right or left. He's basically, that song, The Ringer, he calls everybody out except for 4 original artists who stuck true to who they were. And he calls himself out in Lucky You, and he puts on Joyner Lucas. I'm telling you, if you haven't heard Joyner Lucas, this is old school rap. This is bringing the battle back. You want to know what? One of the things, Eminem's life has been a battle. And he even says, if you pull the bars apart in Lucky You, watch the video, watch the way the song's great, the track is awesome, but when I got something completely probably different than anybody else, because it spoke to me personally, how I've been silenced with my creativity, or people were stealing my shit. And I had to sit back and watch. Thank you. That's cool. Like, this is my sanctuary. This is my sanctuary. Like, I have a whole house. I stay in this room because the angels are always here with me. And I do my tarot readings in here. I'm telling you, please, don't just, like, when I heard him drop the bomb on Machine Gun Kelly, I called this in the Gemini reading. I called it, you know, and like the millennial generation, I'm not saying anything bad about millennials. I'm just saying that Eminem is putting the call out there to please be who you are. Be who you are. Do not let people in upper positions silence you. Do not, I mean, if they do, then they do, but still be you. And I love the fact with Lucky You, I'm going to pull this apart here with Joyner as well. Basically, when he comes out, he's featured. He does the first half of that video. And I'm legit shaking. I've got like 5 hours of sleep because I've just been pulling this music apart and the meaning and how it speaks to me personally, and what I've been learning through the spiritual community, and what I've been hearing in my own spirit, and the messages I've been conveying to my subscribers. You know, I don't give a shit if I only have 232 subscribers. I don't care. I don't care if I have 5, as long as I can touch them, and as long as that they can get something that I've impacted their life and help them come up. That's all I care about. That's it. That's what it's about. Our relationships, our inner relationships with one another. I mean, yeah, Eminem's dissing people to bring them up to a whole. He's like, you want to know what? If you ain't in the game, get out, because you're about to be removed. And I'm exposing the industry for exactly what they made me do for my fame. Clones. I want you to check out that video, Lucky You. Oh, we're lucky right now. We are so lucky right now to see this unpacked. I'm just like, Eminem's a sign. Eminem, this thing is a sign to the millennials to wake up out of your slumber, and Generation X, pick up your shit and start moving forward. I'm 45. This is Eminem's 45. I'm 43. I've been watching this guy. He's been like my if I listen to rap or that style of music, which I listen to all styles of music. I do. But if I listen, my daughter would play, she would play this crap, and there was no there was no authenticity. You can tell the industry is telling these people, ghostwriters, there's people writing their shit and saying, here's good material. Sing it or rap it or whatever you want to call it. Talk it out. Like, seriously, let's talk about it. Let's talk about Machine Gun Kelly's Rap Devil. I called that out. I called it out because I know the spirit of Eminem, and the fact we're in Virgo season, he's going to tell the truth. He dropped this album in Virgo season, which is magical in itself, but he's pointing freaking fingers. Yeah, that's Virgo. But he's a Libra Scorpio cusp. His sun sign is Libra Scorpio. So he's Libra, but his birthday is, like I said it earlier, but it's October 17th, 1972. He's a Libra Scorpio cusp. So he has three different elements, or he has a sun sign, and I actually have it on I screenshot it because I wanted to check out his natal chart. I knew if you go on my Gemini, he has Saturn in Gemini. Yeah, his Saturn's in Gemini. And there's trines. There's a bunch of trines. And I'm just like, I knew from the time I was 20 years old that Eminem was special. He just had a different sound. He can rap better than anybody. And his rising sign is deep in Aquarius. Deep in Aquarius. So he's getting stuff upper echelon. My daughter's in Aquarius. He's been getting this stuff. So his resolve, I mean, I don't know the exact time of his birth, though. I know. However, he admits his last. If you watch the video "Lucky You" when you get off of here. Well, after you watch The Peace Dealer, when you get off of here, go watch that video "Lucky You." I was impressed just with his I knew he was going to slaughter Machine Gun Kelly. I knew it. I called it. I'm like, oh my gosh! Like, don't you people get it? You know. And I have a friend of mine. We're old heads. Like, we're used to the old head rap style. Like, if it ain't that, I'm not, like, yeah, like, I get it. He did some decent stuff with other people, like his stuff with Rihanna. Like, it's good, whatever. Airplanes. That's selling out for Eminem. Aw. Well, you want to know what? You get on and start listening to some of that, it completely lifted me out of my slumber. The song, like I said, the song "The Ringer" is probably actually better. The song "The Ringer" is probably actually better when you pull it apart, and how he's calling out. Like, that's the first song on the track. He's calling these people out. He's saying, you want to know what? If you ain't Kendricks, if you ain't Joyner, and you're done, because I'm about to expose you all for the clones you are. And I'm going to go into the video "Lucky You." It starts out, like I said, Joyner sings the first half. And he talks about himself going down as the underdog who never lost hope. He never lost hope. And now he's being featured by Eminem because he's authentic. He didn't switch up his style to get a name. He's making it for himself. And Eminem, he respects that. Like he basically, like, there's people who he's like, I can't stand this industry anymore, and it needed a revival. I get it. Like, he dropped the bomb on the face of the world right now, and it really should have been kamikaze / revival, because that's what this is gonna do for people. It's gonna exactly, truth attracts truth, authenticity. Do you want to know why? When you're your true authentic self and you can tap into that, I've been telling people, please, please, because stuff is about to happen and people are going to look for the real. People are going to look for someone who's actually legit, and you better know who you are. You better recognize your gifts, and you better tap into them, because that's where you're going to find. I've been pushing this on my Facebook. I've been pushing Eminem stuff. Like, my son, he's 22, almost 23. And, like, these poor kids, like, the millennial generation, they've been forced to conform. And Generation X has been forced to shut up. That's a fact. Every area of my life that I've tried to step out in, I've been forced and shut down. Because I was my true authentic self. I was rejected in every single one of those areas because I chose to be me. The only people who actually respected the fact that I was me was other people who could see how passionate and it's time to transform this shit and get moving in your purpose. Find your purpose, please. You know, because you want to know what? You don't know when you're, like, with the joiner, and you don't know when your break is coming. You don't know who's watching you. Welcome to my spirit. I call myself, in some of my first few videos, the truth teller. Because, you know, here's the thing that I also noticed just within society as a whole. Yeah, that's good. Please step into your superpower. Find out who you are and what you're good at and what you're called to do. Because you don't know who's watching you. I was told about a year ago to make a YouTube channel. I knew I was going to, but I have degrees. I'm actually a smart person. I actually went to college, and Spirit exposed that. He exposed that to me, how people are forced to conform and believe one way. There's only one way to do things. You know, this is the only right way to do it. By people who are upper level forcing others to conform to what they want. So that, you want to know why? So that you don't go above them. People who are up here fear getting knocked the hell down. They fear it. They fear authentic people. I'm good. Don't give up. Be who you are. Please, the world needs authenticity right now. We don't need conformity. And that's why I'm so happy this whole message that Eminem's with this Kamikaze album, holy shit. Like, it's a big to the industry. And I'm like, he finally. You're welcome. You're very welcome. You know, that's what I'm taking from this album. I want you all to listen, watch the video. And I would love to play it, but you want to know what? I don't want no copyright bullshit. I don't. I don't care. I'm authentic. I can talk Eminem. You want to talk Eminem? I'll talk Eminem all day. I've known this guy, like I feel like I've known him and saw his whole career, and like I said, he'd done some good stuff, but like it wasn't his battle rap. It's time to bring the battle back, people, because it's a spiritual battle that we're fighting to conform or be put in a box and labeled. They want to package us up with a nice little bow and put you out there under their label. And then you got to do what they tell you to do. I've always preached to my kids, get your ass through school and be who you are. Just get your butt through school. You want to know truths? You come to mama. Mama got truths. I have 3 little arrows I'm shooting out into the world. One's a Marine. My other son, he just graduated high school. My daughter, she's on her way. She's my little Aquarius. She knows. She's all 3 of my kids. I got a Scorpio, a Capricorn, and an Aquarius. Son. I unpacked this and pulled it apart too. When it comes to my own life, every single element makes up me and my kids. I don't need anybody else. It's the truth. All 4 elements are wrapped up between me and my kids. I'm an Aries sun. So right there's my truth teller coming out. I got a Scorpio sun. That's water. I got a Capricorn sun. That's earth. And I got an Aquarius daughter. That's air. All 4 of us make up every element. Oh yeah, there's like, little, of course, we're going to clash. But like, I'm bringing astrology into this whole Eminem thing and the signs that are happening right now. It's not any mistake that it was dropped when it was in Virgo season. Virgos tell the truth and they point out the flaws in other people. Yeah. They tell you what's coming and they're usually right. And that's what pisses the rest of us off because they're so salty when they do it. Like, this whole thing with Eminem, like, seriously got me stoked. And it's not even, it's a sign. That's what I'm basically saying. This is a sign for everybody to go in, find who you are, find your purpose, and give it your best shot. I'm going to go into an Eminem song, Lose Yourself. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. Please give the world who you are. Please give the world who you are. Because the world needs it right now. They do. They need us to be us. Well, thank you. We are, with like my kids, like I got the earth element. And it's interesting because I have a Libra rising and I have a Cat moon. So Aries sun, Libra rising, Cat moon. So my Libra in me is like, I want fairness and justice for people. That is my whole life story, is about me being silenced by upper echelon people because they were afraid I was going to figure them out and expose them. And that's exactly what has happened. I'm telling you, our government, and I'm not saying like the president per se, I'm saying the government structure is corrupt to its core. I worked in local government. I saw. Spirit exposed it to me, and I got fired for doing the right thing, for wanting to help people. Well, hello. You know, because I wasn't conforming. I wasn't going to conform to what they wanted. I'm not a carbon copy. I'm not. And neither are any of you. I'm not a carbon copy. I'm going to be myself. At 43, I don't give a shit. Just like Eminem don't give a shit now at 45, finally. Something woke that boy up. I'm telling you. This Kamikaze album is like a freaking slap in the face to the world about conformity and being sheep. It is. He basically, like, honestly, if people would have kept some element, and Eminem even exposes himself, like I said, he exposes himself for selling out. He regrets it. I know. Thank God. We need to wake up and be who we are. You know, and I'm telling you, I've been watching since he dropped the bomb on Machine Gun Kelly the other day. I've been glued, completely glued to YouTube, watching reactions, pulling stuff apart. And then I watched a friend of mine. I actually, because I called this out, I didn't know what was going to happen in the spirit. But then I did a tarot reading for Gemini the other week, and I'm like, the great impersonator. And I called this Machine Gun Kelly thing out. He thinks he's Eminem. He's not even close. Be who you are. Don't try and be somebody else. And you know what? It's good to look up to people. I'm not saying that. But when you think you're going to overthrow someone's authenticity with clone shit that you probably didn't even write, good luck. Good luck. You know, and then I have friends, you know, I have friends of all ages. But I have friends in the younger generation in their 20-somethings, and they're like, I still think Rap Devil is better. I'm like, how? How do you think Rap Devil was better than Killshot? How? Please tell me how. There's so much stuff in Killshot where he unloads on this guy. He unloaded and called him out and said, you got no more ammo, bitch. Who's a bitch? You know, like I said, I want you guys to do your research. I want you to dig in to these songs. And just listen to the old Eminem is back. Slim Shady's back. He's back. He's taking names. And he's dropping shit on people. And he's like, step up your game. If you ain't got it, you might as well go. Because I'm about to take over this bitch. And discover those who are authentic in this community. Him putting Joyner Lucas on Lucky You. And if you listen to Joyner Lucas's message, how he starts out that, like, I seriously wanted to cry because I'm like, I get you, dude. Like, I get you. People tried to silence you and you're authentic. And it's a shit thing that you have been silenced and haven't been given the props you deserve. However, your break just came because you brought the fucking lawnmower on this one. And then Eminem starts in on his thing. He calls Eminem the lawnmower. He talks about the snakes in the grass, but guess what? I brought the lawnmower. You're all being exposed. You want to know what? I really don't either, except for through my son and this younger generation. You know, and like I'm gonna say like Rap Devil was decent for him. This did need to happen. I know. My spirit's been telling me this. And it's been coming out, and I do tarot readings. It's been coming out for certain signs about being silenced. I've done a reading for Pisces, and it was a very spiritual reading. Most people watch tarot to get love. They want to know who's coming in. You know, and if it comes up, fine. But if my spirit's telling me to give them a spiritual message to freaking wake their ass up, that's what's coming. That was a great line, too. Woo! There they go, all on the floor. It's awesome. It's awesome. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it and talking with me. And the fact that there's people excited. Eminem's basically message telling people, you know, it's a lot to speak to the rap community, but the fact that it's global, it's a wake-up call. The spiritual community was supposed to do this. Wake up people, but they failed. So it's taken Eminem to do it. Finally. Here's the other thing that I picked out on that Lucky You song. Joyner Lucas, he mentions himself as, you know, the N-word. He calls himself nigga. Like, you know. Eminem comes on then, and he calls himself the cracker. And those two are united. Like, that is something that needs to happen. Please don't let politics or what's going in the political realm to think that people or hate you because of what color you are. Hate's in a person's soul, and it's deep rooted. You know, we have to come together as a society and lift each other up. And that's what I took that out of that song, Lucky You too. You know, I did. Eminem just gave Joyner Lucas a huge break. Because I haven't heard of Joyner Lucas. I got away from the rap community because it turned to crap. I would tell my daughter all the time, please turn that shit off. Because it all sounds the same. What's with the blending of accents? What do you mean? The blending of accents. This is just how I talk. I will only get on. I'm not sure what you're talking about. You explain it. Because I think I can learn from you people too. No, I'm German, but I have Italian in me. This is Pennsylvania. I'm from PA. Central PA. Oh, I know. Did you hear him? Did you hear him when Joyner was doing those bars and Eminem was going, you know, like everything he did, it was like when he said about him being Cujo, he goes, woof. Huh? I'm no robot. Hell no. I'm my true authentic self. This is who you get. I'm 43. I've been watching this shit unfold for 43 years. I saw people go from, you know, respecting authenticity to respecting clones. Sorry. I can't respect clones. Be who you are. Be who you are, people. That's the facts. If you can't be who you are and enjoy your life and your gifts and give them to the world, what good is it? We're going to be miserable. I wasn't born. Can I put my favorites, what, from this album? One of my favorite songs, and it's because it speaks to me, from Eminem, is Lose Yourself. I chose not to play music to this because I wanted zero to deal with copyright bullshit. I'm pulling it apart. And giving the spiritual message that was given to me from marinating since Killshot was finally brought out and finally exposed the industry. That's when I knew this was going to drop, right on MGK. I knew it was. I'm like, the fact he dropped Kamikaze with nobody knowing about it on the face of the earth like that, as a big wake up. Wake up, people. I've been saying this. I've been saying it for 3 months. Be who you are. Find your true authentic gifts and your true authentic self and give it to the world, please, because we need it. I've been shaking since I've been listening to this music. Well, thank you. I will. I definitely will. I always do. Thank you. I know I am. 43. I'm not conforming to what anybody else thinks I should be. I'm myself. Whether you like it or you don't. I was forced to shut my mouth for far too long. Ain't anybody shutting me up now. Nobody. Pretty much that's what Eminem's saying too. He ain't shutting me up anymore. I'm too big. You ain't gonna do shit to me. What can you do to me? Nothing. Same with Joyner. Joyner Lucas is like, I might not ever get a Grammy. You know, at the whatever. I don't give a shit. I'm going to be me. Whether I get a Grammy or I don't. Now, at 43, I regret a lot of freaking things. I feel like I wasted a lot of time and a lot of my life. However, Eminem just gave me a renewed oomph. That it ain't over till it's over, bitches. It ain't. It's not over till it's over. So, the fact that he told MGK, I'd rather be an 80-year-old me than a 20-year-old you. Because he knows he's not a freaking clone and he knows he's talented. He's using his God-given talent. So please, that's my message to everybody. That's my message to everybody. Please give who you are to the world because the world needs it. And like I said, you don't know who's sitting back watching you. I could care less. You don't like my message? You don't like what I have to say? My message and what I have to say to people is usually always uplifting. I don't want to argue with anybody because I know I'm fucking right. If you don't like me, for me, I could care less. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one. But authenticity, nobody can come against authenticity unless if they feel they can shut you up and you allow it, they'll do it because they're afraid of losing their spot. Well, When you got it, you got it. And if you don't got it, you'll be knocked down. Basically, and that's what Eminem is exposing. He's basically saying, guess what, bitches? You ain't got it anymore. What you thought you had? What you thought you had is nothing because you were forced to conform. Like I said, when I saw the video and I saw the black things with the red eyes, and I watched this video and I dissected it and I pulled it apart, I've dealt with a lot of narcissistic people in my time. I dealt with a lot of narcissists in my life who stole from me. They tried to steal my soul and tried to shut me up. I'm back. Ain't none of you bitches gonna be me. You can all, seriously, go to where you need to go. Get the fuck away from me. Amen. Those are the biggest, I'm telling you, I've dealt with narcissists my whole life. If you don't know what NPD is, which is narcissistic personality disorder, and how that stifles creativity because people are evil and want to freaking steal what you got and become energy vampires. It's a spiritual battle, people. You know, and I dated multiple. When I actually had to take the time to go through my whole list. Well, I'm really sorry. However, you want to know what? When the time is up and you become a better you as a result, and you can look at them and be like, what you tried to do to me, you tried to freaking force me to shut my mouth about abuse. That's one of my callings. I didn't get a fucking degree for nothing at 41 years old. I will be going to DC at one point in my life. Because emotional and psychological abuse and what that does to people, and it's all to stifle creativity. Well, thank you. I love the peace dealer. I owe a lot of the stuff that our activations we do through his channel, that has propelled me forward that I don't think I would have ever gotten if I wouldn't have ever, discovered his channel. Thank God for him. Shout out to Mike, man. Okay. You have a good day. Love you. Mwah. Thanks for coming in. I actually found that through an energy vampire that I had to stop watching. Love you too. You had to stop watching The Peace Dealer because someone an energy vampire latched onto you and told you that. Is that what you're saying, honey? Well, thank you. Watch Eminem, dude. Please. Dissect his stuff. I have an answer for that if you want to hear it. I have an answer for that if you want to hear it. I came into my spirituality through Christianity. Same as the peace dealer. However, the church wanted me to conform to what, when you get up so far spiritually and you start coming up with truths of your own, they don't like that. And I had to expose them. And I basically got shunned in my church. So I heard my spirit tell me, get out of there. I heard my spirit say, okay, it's time for you to start going into your own wilderness and learning who you really are. I always knew I was an Aries. But it wasn't until I discovered that I was being severely emotionally abused, and stifled. It's that when you're abused and you're dealing with an energy vampire, they stifle your own creativity and they want to create sheep. Narcissists are all throughout the church. They're embedded in any structure. They're embedded in the school, the higher education. They're embedded in the government structures. They're embedded in the music industry and creativity and the arts. Thank you. I am too, but you want to know what? The gifts that God bestowed on me and the spirit that gave me to be me and fulfill my purpose isn't to sit in a freaking church pew on Sunday. My purpose is to go out and be who I'm called to be and be a gift to the world. That's what I'm called to be. Whether I'm not supposed to look like Mike at the peace dealer, I'm not supposed to look like anybody. I'm supposed to be me. And if people don't like me, fuck you. I had to tell my parents don't understand how in the hell I got into astrology and astronomy, as deep as what I have. And I've been studying this the whole time because it all makes sense. God revealed things. Spirit, this is so three-dimensional how we think. The majority of people are stuck in a three-dimensional realm. They aren't getting into the root of their spirit. They're not getting into the core of their creativity and who they are. They're not. So, that's what we're called to do, people. Find out who you are. Find out who you are. Be you. Please be you. The world needs authenticity right now. They don't need carbon copies. We have enough of them. If that song, Lucky You, doesn't prove that, my favorite part of that video, and it's probably a lot of people's favorite parts of the video, is where they're mimicking everything Eminem and Joyner Lucas are doing. And if you only listen to the track, you won't get that part. Joyner Lucas goes like this, the clones go like this. Eminem goes like this, the clones go like this. Joyner Lucas goes like this. Actually goes, it's freaking great. And then Eminem goes like this. Boom! For me, when you watch that video, and from the shit I've gone through in my life, and the fact that I grew up listening to him and watching his career explode and watching him in my spirit, kind of sell out. But the fact he recognized it and was like, I regret it that I did it. I regret that. Yeah, I might have everything. I might have everything I dropped because my name is Eminem. It's going to go gold, platinum. It doesn't matter if it's good or not. And it almost makes me think, did he put out a shitty album on purpose to see if people would recognize it's bad? Like, I'm not saying that he did, but like, that's where my mind's going. To see how people are clones. We're made slaves to society. Forced to conform. Our way of thinking and our way of speech. And the media is entrenched with this. That's why I don't have TV. For the last 2 years, I haven't had TV. Because it's a distraction from my purpose and my calling. I will spend time on YouTube. I become a researcher of people and of character of people and learning about spirituality and learning about myself, discovering who I am. And it took me 3 years. I want to see people by the age of 25 be comfortable with their gifts and who they are so that they have a lot more time than what I did to change the world, to make it a better place. And I'm going to tell you, the fact that there's so much evil in this world is because it's entrenched with narcissism. It's entrenched with people who want to keep everybody else down who got a gift and press them down. It's time to expose these suckers. And I'm glad Eminem did it. I'm glad, it gives me hope. It really does. It gives me hope for the future of what's coming, of a better way of living and being happy. When you're happy and joyful in yourself, ain't nobody can take that away from you unless you let them. That's a fact. You let somebody else's opinion of you dictate whether or not you're going to have a good day or a bad day, you'll be miserable the rest of your life. I'm not letting the opinions of others hold me down anymore. I'm not. Because everybody, if they can press down authenticity and creativity, that's where you really find your joy come in. Being who you are. And people actually realizing, you're not a carbon copy. You're different. And it's not even the opinions. I could care less if anybody ever thinks I'm different. I'm stating facts. And I know a lot of people like watered down shit. Well, you're not going to get that on my channel. You're not. I want to bring up people higher. And beyond me. Raise them up. Please. Just when you get there, remember that I said, hey, please be yourself. Because I value relationships. I really do. I value relationships. That's why I fight for what I care about. I do. That's why it was so hard for me when I was in these relationships with narcissists to let them go. Because I'm by nature a fighter. I'm an Aries. I don't lose. Are you an Aries? I don't lose. And that's all that is. Being in a relationship with those people. That's a no-win situation. It was like in the year 2000, 2001. That was like right off 9/11 was so, and I'm going to go back here, and I don't care. Oh, you're a Scorpio? That's cool. Sweet. Water. Pluto. You get what I'm saying. Like I said, I haven't really watched a whole lot. This is a spiritual wake-up call. That's the way I'm taking this, because it applies to me that way. And I'm going to put it out to my community of people that way. To get back to who you are. Because that's where your authenticity lies. That's where your gifts lie. Pick them up and use them because they were God-given. Be who you are. Oh, and my ex Scorpio had a Pisces moon. He was very dark, though. He was a really bad sociopath. And I knew him from a long time ago, and he came back into my life. But I'm not going to talk about him because he doesn't even deserve to. Well, thank you. That's what, you want to know what? That's what Aries who are integrity are supposed to do. I've been preaching integrity too. Like, if you're not being real, get the hell out of here. You know, and this last sociopath that I dealt with, I thought he was my twin flame too, because I knew him from 23 years ago. And we reconnected we reconnected 12 hours before last August solar eclipse after not seeing him for 17 years. So, you know, and it was fireworks and sparks, but then I started seeing the mask slip, and I'm thinking, is this a twin flame dynamic? And I come to find out I'm pretty sure that it is, but I don't want anything toxic in my life. I can't have it. Till he comes to the end of himself. Nope. That was last August solar eclipse was called the twin, and I didn't know this until months afterward. That eclipse was supposed to be the eclipse that brought twin flames together. My ex was all upper echelon. He was Scorpio sun, Aquarius rising, with a Pisces frickin' moon. And he was at a young age attacked spiritually. You know, he was. And he turned dark just to cope with the anguish of what he felt every day. Yeah, it's hard. You know, and for me not to talk shit because of how bad he treated me, sometimes it comes out because I'm still angry that I got stifled, but I allowed it. I have to say, like, I allowed it to happen. So it's not all him. I got to put some of that blame on myself for allowing it. It's time that these narcissists start getting exposed and start getting dethroned by empaths. It's time that light workers start doing what they're called to do and raise the consciousness and the frequency on this planet. If we don't, the next generations are going to be the ones that suffer. The next generation is going to be the ones that suffer. So I don't want to see that happen. I told my twin I'm ascending this time with or without you. So either we're going to do this thing together. And he completely didn't, I know it hit his spirit, but he couldn't come to the end of himself. Spirit used me in so many different ways and signs that we were meant to be, yet he denied it. And it scared the shit out of him. How psychic I was. I was calling football games, horse races. I was calling shit. I actually knew one night when him and I were out that something was going on spiritually that didn't feel right. And he's not supposed to be out. He's on probation until November. He's not supposed to be out. And I felt it. Like I felt the hatred. And just a bad feeling. And by Sunday, he gets an email from his probation officer saying, "How is the bar?" At the exact time, I started flipping like inside. I'm like, and I'm telling him, I'm begging him, I'm like, we gotta go. Like something doesn't feel right. Can we please leave? Like I don't want to be here. Like something doesn't feel right. Like we gotta go. And he insisted that we stayed because there was somebody there who he was like, I'm not letting that guy run me out. And it wasn't about being ran out. It was about saving his ass. Something didn't feel right. And sure enough, he noticed it. A week before he discarded me. He noticed, big time noticed it. Because he said, "What time did you say like we had to go?" And I'm like, well, it was like, I was starting to feel weird about a quarter of, and you came back in around 12:05. And I'm like, we gotta go. For an hour, I'm just like, I'm not comfortable. Like, we gotta go. And he recognized the time and the timing. And it scared the fuck out of him. But it was God being like, look. She's got a gift. And I don't know if he let me go or did what he did because he couldn't help himself because of his narcissistic shit, or if he did it for my own good. And spirit intervening and saying, okay, now it's time to heal. And it's not going to take you long this time because you already know what you were dealing with. It's not going to take you long. We're going to get through this. It's going to be painful, but you want to know what? We're getting through it. And if you go back through my channel, my first videos are all on narcissism. And then it was like I had to switch it up and be like straight into my tarot. Forget that. That's in the past. It's time to move forward with your purpose. It's time to move forward in what I called you to do. And if we're meant to come back together at one point, he's got a lot of healing to do. So I had to give him over. It still pisses me off how I was treated. Gaslighted, projected, triangulated, all of it. It still pisses me off. But I had to go through that to find who I really was. Instead of looking to somebody else for my own validation, I needed to find my validation in who I am as a person, which is exactly why I said this whole thing with Eminem's album and Kamikaze is important. Find out your purpose, people. Either way, I'm going to get off of here because I'm pretty sure the Peace Dealer's coming on. And I'm going to go over to his channel. So, anybody who sees this, that's where I'm going. I'll talk to you later. Bye. See ya. You keep going, honey. You'll get this. You find your purpose. You walk in your purpose.